Okay, I have 3 of these journals, and they're different characters each one. This one is Julia Butterfly Hill, who lived in a redwood tree. The doll comes off. It's a yarn doll, and it's supposed to resemble Julia Butterfly Hill. She's the girl that lived in a redwood tree for 780 some days. So you make the little yarn doll, and then I make this little apron that fits on her, and then she has her little protest sign, Save the Redwoods. So the front of the journal has a redwood tree on it, and a nice little charm with ferns in it. The ferns in the redwoods are gigantic. I was just out there last May, and it was mind-blowing. Has the butterflies on it to stick with the butterfly theme. And it's got 3 signatures, 2 signatures for writing, just writing. And most of those pages are gel printed, or there's no dyed papers in this one. And then the journal itself starts out, and there's a pocket in the front with my card that is, like a giant postage stamp. I forgot to put the cancellation. I have to do that. And then there is the letter in this one also about the journal and about, this is about the creative author, me. This is my bio. I need to put the, about the journal in here too. Or maybe it's in here at the back. Anyway, this page is distress ink, and this was a quote from Julia Butterfly. We are the solution to those problems. Then this is a flip out here, made up of envelopes. And now you can't see it, it goes out of the picture. So here's that side, and then this opens. And so then there's pockets and places to put tags and little tidbits in here. I like to promote gardening in most of everything. This side over here has the story about Julia Butterfly Hill. And here's a little Zen doodle. And in here is about the coastal redwoods. And so it all just kind of folds up. Oh, the centerpiece. The centerpiece opens up also. And there's a tag in here, a rose. And this side has a butterfly. And you could write on the backs of them, add little notes tucked in there. And then here is another pocket back here with a dragonfly and several sheets of paper to also write on. And it just folds up like that. Then I've got a little seed packet here, and with some marigold seeds in it. A little fern. Then this is the sewing area. So I have 50s or 60s sewing ephemera. And this is a big old sewing machine with pattern as background. And this is the mamagami processed wadded paper to look like black iron. And then in here is a pattern. So I have 2 patterns, one for how to make your yarn doll. Exact information on how anyone can make a yarn doll. I started making these yarn dolls when I was maybe 7 or 8. My grandmother showed me how. And then the next visit with my grandmother, she showed me how to make clothing. And so I'd take any scraps and cut it out, cut a place for the waist and a little slit. So you don't have to crochet to be able to make a little jacket and skirt for your little yarn doll. And then these are the journal pages to write on. And I think, how many pages are in that? Oh, where is it? Fairy journals. Mary, okay, 56. Yeah, around 60 pages for writing. And then back here is the letter about how I discovered to do yarn dolls and my story about my grandmother and me. A little butterfly attached on there, a little hair clip butterfly. So you get a story about Julia Butterfly. You get a little doll. You get a pattern on how to make some more dolls, because you never know, you might want some more doll friends. So it's either for a child or an adult, and the adult, I'm hoping, will just work with children and help them to learn how to make these types of things. So that was Julia Butterfly. And this one, I have a lot of famous women, but this is a Native American story that I ran across about the Kachina dolls. And they're usually carved out of wood. But, of course, I'm not going to do that. I made one out of yarn, a yarn doll, and dressed it in some of the costume-looking style they had. And they have a little mask on that's similar to that. And I put a little feather. And so this is the front of the journal. The series is called Earth Children. And this is the back. This one, I think, has a lot more hand-dyed papers in it. Yes. So in the front of it is a small journal that's mamagami cover, a technique on wadded paper from Japan. I added a lot of distress dyed papers in that small journal. And just designed this. This was rust-dyed paper, and I stenciled this on. And then this sewing area has a smaller little sewing machine with little spools of thread and buttons, gel print at the background, and then this little envelope, which I did in a ephemera trade with one of the girls in the groups of junk journal artist, Marty, exchanged ephemera stuff. So I put my patterns in that one. It's the pattern again of how to make the yarn doll itself, and they're really simple to do. And then the clothing to make. So that's in every journal. And then there's a birth certificate here. Inside here is a little coloring book of the different Kachina dolls, Zuni, and let's see what's on this side. I can't remember. This is a classic Hopi Kachina doll. So the little color book, and it says color pages. Yeah, Hopi and Zuni. I sewed in a couple little wooden hearts right there. This is an eco-dyed paper. It's maple leaves. And then I just stamped the little ants walking across and a grasshopper. This is a bee stamp. And this is distress ink pads. And then I just added a little collage of flower pots. And then a little packet of seeds. A wheelbarrow with a metal gear for a wheel. Plenty of places to write. Then we've got all this dyed paper. I think this is beet dyed. A tissue with gel print. Faux rice paper. You can see through that. Full rice paper with 4-leaf clover leaves that were dried in between it. Some of the 1882 bank ledger. Some more rust dyed paper. Chinkapin. It's supposed to be beet dyed. Avocado dyed paper. That's an eco print with vinegars brushed on the print. Makes the print come out black. This is a rust dyed paper with leaves. So there is an assortment. This is coffee dyed, no, avocado. And this is a coleus leaf. And at the back of the journal, I have a drawing in here. A couple drawings in here. Dragonflies on rust paper, coffee stained. And these are upcycled envelopes that I cover. This is a Zentangle. And some more little tidbits in here, just a card that you can write on, and a piece of faux rice paper. Very tactile journal with all the feels and stuff. And this is another Zen doodle of a raven and the ginkgo tree leaves on photo paper. Another little envelope fold out there with a little tag. And another little tag. And it just closes like that. And then this one has my grandmother's story in here about the dolls, how I learned to make them. And my postage stamp ID, and notes about the journal maker, how you make the journal, what all's involved in the step, hours and hours of creating and sewing, collage making. So it's got 2 sets of beads on this one. And then the third one I have right now, and I've got a series of like 12 so far. This one is Mary Leakey. Everybody should study about Mary Leakey. Let's see if I can get her untied. Choking her. So she's also a little yarn doll with short hair, because Mary Leakey had short hair. Saved the cave art. She discovered Lucy, one of the oldest fossils, archaeology. So I made this cover of this book, and you can take this tag off, like it's going into a cave here. And they wrapped There's specimens in little cloth bags a lot of times too. So it's like a cave and goes down in, and then the drawings are on the cave wall inside. And I put some cave drawings out here outside the wall. The spine, where you can tie your doll on, has some charms hanging off. And then the back has a little pocket with some dried flowers, a little tag hanging off the side, and then a field guide book here that you can add your notes in if you use this book for actually documenting things in nature. You can have this to make some notes in. That's a wasp nest that I put in a specimen slide. Science. So it's got the little field guidebook there. The inside also has 2 ledgers, signatures for writing, and these mostly are just assorted papers that have been gel printed on. I added a little zipper there and a old rusty, actually it's a coin that had a hole drilled in it. So in the front I've got the information about how the journal was made and different techniques used. And then this is like a fossil imprint that I used with a paste and some distress ink. Added some really vintage buttons there. And then inside the pocket is a card with the skeleton, the skulls on it, field sketching. And then this is the story about Mary Leakey. And here, she said, basically, I've been curious, basically, I have been compelled by curiosity. So that's why she finds the things that she finds. So here's the sewing section for this area. It's got buttons and some thread on it. And here is the yarn doll pattern again. And a little packet of needles, which is really just a little teeny miniature journal. But it looks like a pack of needles, sewing needles. And then this is the clothing pattern in an old Singer pattern. And the background of this is a sewing pattern. There's a little birth certificate and footprint, fossilized footprint, images of it, some cave drawings, some more cave drawings, and then here's a little color book. A little story goes in with it. And then you can add your own drawings or information you want to add to it. This little pocket cave art. I did a cinnamon technique on this. And a little teeny bit of smell of cinnamon. But that's a little cave drawing on that. Etched in, fossilized. And a picture of Mary Leakey with one of the cave drawings. And then the back is some ferns that I had pressed and then glued them down so they're completely into the soil there, or into the paper. And then the pages to write on. So you could make this a nature journal to take with you on an adventure or trails you like to walk, and you could add photographs. You just put the photograph right on the page, wherever you want to put it. You can write on all these pages, write over this, just maybe write in red, And then when you get here, you can skip the circle area. So stamp. There is one sticker. I don't use very many stickers or bought stuff. I like making my own ephemera. And then back here is some vintage stamps and a little book tag. And then this is the story about getting my idea from my grandmother. So that's book number 3, and I've got a bunch of others, but I'm not going to go through all of them right now. So there you go. Thank you.